For this game's exciting turn 1, Sam plays a Shivan Reef and passes, John plays an island and passes, Tom plays a mountain and passes, and Extra, the aggro player, plays a mountain and casts Goblin Motivator before passing to Sam. Sam plays an island and is its signet, then hands it to John. John plays Mikakoro, Center of the Sea, as his land for turn, then taps 2 for an Arcane signet. He passes to Tom. Tom just plays another mountain, then passes to Extra. Extra plays a mountain as well, then casts a Ruby Medallion, before attacking Sam with his Goblin Motivator for 1. The turn then moves to Sam. Sam plays an island, then taps out for an Archmage Emeritus, before passing. John plays an island, casts a Sapphire Medallion, then taps his 2 remaining blue sources for 2 Persistent Petitioners. He then passes to Tom. Tom plays a Sulphurous Springs for turn, then casts Unruly Catapult, and passes the turn to Extra. Extra plays a mountain, then casts his commander, Krenko Mob Boss. He then uses his handy Goblin Motivator to give Krenko haste, immediately activating him, kickstarting the Goblin Mitosis, and making 2 1/1 Goblin tokens. Extra then hands it back to Sam. Sam plays a mountain, then decides to make some enemies by overloading a Vandal Blast, drawing with Archmage Emeritus on cast, and wiping his opponent's artifacts off the board. With nothing else, he passes to John. John's only play this turn is casting his commander, Bruvac the Grandiloquent, before passing to Tom. Tom matches John by only casting creature this turn, taking 1 damage from Sulphurous Springs to cast Florian, Voldaren Scion, and passing to Extra. Extra plays a mountain for turn, then casts a Skirt Prospector and a Redcap Thief, making a trigger as the latter enters. He then activates Krenko, making 6 more goblins. He then immediately sacks 3 of those tokens to Skirt Prospector to add 3 red to his pool, which he uses to cast 1000-Year Elixir. Extra then sacks another goblin to Skirt Prospector in order to pay for the elixir's activated ability, untapping Krenko. He then reactivates Krenko, making 8 more goblin tokens. He then repeats this song and dance by sacking 3 goblins to cast Patriarch's Seal, and another goblin to pay for its ability, re-untapping and then reactivating Krenko again. Krenko makes 12 goblins this time, 4 of which he sacks to cast Descendant's Fury. Extra then goes to combat, giving the Redcap Thief haste with Goblin Motivator, and swinging at Tom with 2 goblin tokens, and at Sam with the Redcap. Tom blocks 1 of the goblins with Florian, while the other 2 goblins remain unblocked, and trigger Descendant's Fury twice. Extra sacks both of them, then reveals Guro, Disciple of Ryusei first, and Goblin Warchief second, putting both onto the battlefield. In his second main phase, Extra sacks 4 more goblins and Krenko to make 5 red, which is enough to recast Krenko thanks to Goblin Warchief's discount. The newly arrived Krenko also has haste due again to Goblin Warchief. An Extra presents a loop where he activates Krenko to make a crap ton of goblins, then sacks the mob boss and enough of his goons to recast him again, netting an infinite number of 1/1 goblins. Extra then passes to Sam, daring him to try anything. Sam plays a Goblin Electromancer, followed by Baral, Chief of Compliance. He then casts Quick Steady, drawing a card with Archmage Emeritus, and an additional 2 when the spell resolves. Sam then plays a Mountain and a Soul Ring, then passes to John. John starts by casting a 3rd Persistent Petitioner, then taps his commander and 3 petitioners to force Extra to mill a total of 24 cards due to Bruvak's replacement effect. He then casts Visions of Beyond to draw 3 cards before passing to Tom. Tom first attacks John with Florian, desperately trying to find an answer to Extra's goblin army. Florian triggers on John's post-combat main phase, and John miraculously exiles Rakdos Charm from among the top 3 cards of his library. He casts Rakdos Charm, taking 1 damage from Sulphurous Springs. Seeing as he doesn't want to die just yet, Extra sacks his tokens to skirt Prospector until he has 25 goblins total. Tom luckily still has priority and responds to his own Rakdos Charm with a lightning bolt to Krenko's face, sending him to infinite command tax hell. Rakdos Charm then resolves, dealing 3 to Sam, 4 to John, 1 to Tom, and 24 to Extra. Tom then passes. Down but not out, Extra plays a mountain for turn, then attacks John with a single goblin while swinging 15 goblin tokens, the War Chief, Goro Goro, and Goblin Motivator at Tom in retaliation. Since neither has any available blockers, Descendant's Fury triggers twice, with Extra sacking 2 goblin tokens to put a Siege Gang commander onto the battlefield, making 3 goblin tokens as it enters, followed by a Hobgoblin Bandit Lord. Since his goblins still have haste, Extra activates the Hobgoblin to deal damage equal to the number of new goblins to Florian. He then untaps Hobgoblin with 1000-year Elixir and reactivates him to kill Bruvac. Extra continues by sacking 2 goblin tokens to Siege Gang Commander in order to kill Sam's Archmage Emeritus and Goblin Electromancer. He then hands the turn back to Sam. Sam plays an island, then casts Niv-Mizzet Parun. He plays Frantic Search, triggering Niv-Mizzet to draw. Extra responds by activating Siege Gang Commander 3 times, sacking 6 goblins to skirt Prospector and 3 additional goblins in order to deal a total of 6 damage to Niv, banishing him back to the command zone. Frantic Search then resolve, as Sam draws 2, discards 2, and untaps 3 lands. Sam plays at the Fairy's Ageless Insight, then passes to John, hoping he'll have something to contribute. John contributes a pat on the back to Sam, and passes to Tom. Tom plays a Sim Prodder, then passes, with John responding on EOT with a Pongify targeting Extra's Hobgoblin. The turn then moves to Extra. Deciding it's time for the final nail in the coffin, Extra casts Shared Animosity, and goes all out at Sam, John, and Tom at the same time. Animosity gives each of his goblins plus 14 power, which is more than enough to finish off all of his opponents at once and get a well-deserved W.